Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, buckle up because what we're about to discuss is nothing short of a game changer. The NFL offseason always brings surprises, and this year, one of the most intriguing stories revolves around the Pittsburgh Steelers and a potential move involving the Carolina Panthers. It's a story that could reshape the landscape of the AFC North, and for Steelers fans, it's a development worth paying close attention to. So let's dive deep into what's happening, what it means for the Steelers, and how this could potentially alter their trajectory in the upcoming seasons. First, let's set the scene. The 2025 NFL season has been quite a roller coaster, but the Steelers, as usual, are looking to build on their strong foundation. The team has been steadily improving on both sides of the ball, especially on defense where they've invested heavily in players like Keanu Benton, Derek Harmon, and Alex Highsmith. These guys have been instrumental in creating a formidable front that teams fear when they step onto Heinz Field. But as we all know, football is a game of offense and defense, and the Steelers have been a bit more cautious about how they develop their offensive weapons. Looking at the offensive side, there's been a lot of talk about their wide receiver room, which has been somewhat inconsistent but also full of potential. DK Metcalf has been the clear star, a dominant force on the outside, someone who commands respect from defenses and has been a reliable target for quarterback Kenny Pickett. However, beyond DK, things aren't quite as settled. Roman Wilson, a player many of us liked from the 2024 draft class, has shown flashes of brilliance, but he's still unproven at the NFL level. His potential is undeniable, but consistency remains a question mark. That's where the Steelers have been looking to add depth and talent, especially someone who can bring a different element to their passing game. And here's where the story gets really interesting. Rumors have been swirling about the Carolina Panthers making a bold move in the trade market. The Panthers, as you probably know, have a loaded receiver room. They're dealing with a mix of young talent and veterans, including Hunter Renfrow, Jalen Coker, and Tedoroa McMillan. The big question for Carolina is what to do with Hunter Renfrow, who's over 30 now. Renfrow is a proven slot receiver, someone who's been productive in the NFL, but with his age and the team's rebuilding phase, Carolina might consider moving him to make room for younger prospects. And that's where the Steelers come into the picture. Sources suggest that the Panthers are considering trading Xavie Legette, a promising second-year receiver out of South Carolina, who's been gaining attention for his physicality and big-bodied profile. Carolina, with its deep receiver room, might see Legette as expendable, especially if they're leaning toward developing Jalen Coker, who's made quite an impression on their coaching staff. Coker, standing at 6'1" and weighing around 210 pounds, has been praised for his route running and physical presence, and he's proven more in his rookie season than Legette has so far. But let's not forget, Legette still has a lot of upside. He's a player with a profile that fits perfectly into the AFC North's physical smashmouth style of football, a true X-receiver with size, strength, and a natural ability to win contested catches. Now, what does this mean for the Steelers? Well, if the Panthers decide to trade Legette, Pittsburgh would be an ideal landing spot. The Steelers have historically valued receivers with Legette's physical profile. Think about it. They want big, tough receivers who can block, who can win at the catch point, and who can stretch the field when needed. Legette fits that mold perfectly. Plus, with the team's focus on building a sustainable offense to complement their already formidable defense, adding a player like Legette could bring a much-needed boost to their depth at receiver. It's all about creating a balanced attack, and having someone with Legette's skill set and physicality would be a huge asset. The Steelers, right now, are in a bit of a win-now mode. With Aaron Rodgers leading the Jets and the division heating up, every game counts more than ever. The move to acquire DK Metcalf earlier in the offseason signaled their intent to contend immediately, but they're also laying the groundwork for sustained success. Building a solid offensive unit that can support their defense is crucial, and adding a player like Legette would be a strategic step in that direction. It's about more than just filling a roster spot. It's about adding a piece that can contribute immediately and develop into a key player down the line. But let's also talk about the bigger picture. The AFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. You've got the Ravens, who are always tough with their dual-threat quarterbacks, and the Bengals, who have a dynamic offense led by Joe Burrow. The Browns, with their revamped roster and strong defense, aren't to be underestimated either. For the Steelers, staying ahead or even just staying competitive means making smart moves, and acquiring a talented receiver like Legette could be one of those moves that shifts the balance a little more in their favor. It's about adding depth, versatility, and youth to a position that's been somewhat inconsistent in recent years. Now, let's get a little more specific about what Legette brings to the table. He's a physical receiver with a big frame, making him a matchup nightmare for defenders. He has the ability to win contested catches, which is exactly what the Steelers need to complement DK Metcalf's explosiveness. Plus, his skill set aligns well with Pittsburgh's identity: tough, relentless, and physical. The Steelers' offensive philosophy has always been about controlling the line of scrimmage and winning at the point of attack, whether through their run game or through tough, physical receivers who can fight for yards after the catch. Legette fits right into that mold. Of course, there are still questions to be answered. Will Carolina actually trade Legette? And if they do, will the Steelers be willing to part with a third-round pick in 2026? It's a move that makes sense for both sides in many ways, but NFL trades are never guaranteed until they're finalized. Still, the potential addition of Legette would be a significant boost for Pittsburgh, especially considering their current receiver depth and the need for a reliable, physically imposing target. In the context of the entire NFL landscape, this kind of move is exactly what teams in Pittsburgh want to see. They want to be aggressive, but also smart, building a team that can contend now and sustain success in the future. Adding a player like Xavier Legette, who's still young and has plenty of upside, ticks all those boxes. It's a move that could help the Steelers continue their upward trajectory, especially if they manage to add him before the trade deadline hits. So, for all Steelers fans out there, this is something to keep an eye on. The possibility of Legette wearing the black and gold isn't just a rumor anymore. It's a real option, and it could be a pivotal moment for the team's offensive development. Imagine him lining up outside, fighting for contested catches, creating mismatches, and helping take the offense to a new level. It's exciting to think about how this could unfold in the coming weeks, especially as the team continues to shape its roster for a deep playoff run. Remember, the NFL offseason is full of surprises, and the Steelers have a long history of making shrewd moves that pay dividends down the line. Whether or not this trade happens, it's a testament to the smart, strategic approach Pittsburgh is taking. They're looking to build a balanced, dangerous team that can compete with anyone, anywhere. And if they do add Xavier Legette, you can bet that Steelers Nation will be buzzing, excited about what's next for their team. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. So keep your eyes peeled, stay passionate, and let's hope the Steelers make the right move to elevate this team even further. The future looks bright, and with strategic moves like potentially adding Xavier Legette, the Steelers are clearly aiming for more than just a playoff appearance. They're aiming for another Super Bowl. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Steelers.